Good evening and welcome to this episode of 10 Minutes with TmFal. And today we're going to talk about time management. It's a very important thing to talk about as busy women trying to juggle things, life, work, kids, careers, being a friend, being a mom, being a wife, being a career person. And so trying to juggle that time and doing the best with the 24 hours that we have is really important. So for those of you who've listened to other podcasts, you know I like to use imagery, and we're going to use the circle. So imagine a big circle, large circle, divided into 4 equal quadrants, A, B, C, and D. And on the top half are the things we have to do. The bottom half are things we don't have to do. So those are top half, have to do, bottom half, don't have to do. And then with a vertical line across, we have to the left the things we want to do, and on the right side the things we don't want to do. So that then has you with 4 quadrants, A, B, C, and D, with the top half having things we have to do, the lower half things we don't have to do, and then from left to right, things we want to do and things we don't want to do. So let's start with the quadrant A, which is in the top left. That now has things we have to do and things we want to do. So every task and things we have, every task we want to do falls into that category. So these are easy things. These are things we have to do and things we want to do. So they should be easy. We should prioritize our day to get those things done right away. They're things we have to do. So they're work-related things, they're kid-related things, they're things we have to do. We want to do them either because they're fun for us, they're easy for us to do, we've mastered those tasks. They're things that make the rest of the day go easier. But those are quadrant A things. And in terms of daily 24-hour planning, but also for weekly planning and planning for longer term goals, when we put things into have to do, want to do categories, then those go really fast. So that's category A. Then we move to category B or quadrant B, which is still in the top half of this circle. These are things we have to do, but we don't want to do. So sometimes these take a little bit more kick because they're not necessarily the things that we're excited about. Now, these are things we have to do in the top half. We may not want to do them. These are things like disciplining the kids, paying taxes. They're not fun things, but we have to do them for the longer term goal. These are things about saving money, putting financial planning in place, budgeting. These are very important things, but also planning for ourselves, setting aside time to do things that we may not want to do them, but we have to do them. That includes taking time for exercise, physically nurturing ourselves, spiritual wellness, and taking time to nurture our souls, exercising, taking time to meditate in that 24-hour period, dedicating a time for meditation, reading, or listening to books, opening our minds, challenging our knowledge, growing. So these are all things that we may not want to do, but we have to do and really put time to doing that to grow as women and as individuals. Then we move to the lower half of the circle. Those are things we don't have to do. And we'll start off with C, which is the lower half on the right. So there are things that we don't have to do and we also don't want to do. Now, this should be easy. And if we're spending any time in this quadrant, then we need to reevaluate why we're doing those things and really quickly eliminate those things, because these are things we don't have to do and we don't want to do. So what are examples of some of these things? Those may be things that you used to do in the past that you're no longer interested in doing, but you don't know how to extricate yourself from that. Those may be things that you're drawn into by friends or people you colleagues, but you're not necessarily interested in. So they're taking up your time. You don't have to do it. You don't want to do it. It's idle time, talking about things that don't interest you, gossiping, watching mindless reality TV if that's not your thing. So these are things you don't want to do. You don't have to do them. So you really need to get out there. And sometimes it's simple. It's even things like volunteering when you're no longer interested in that cause, or you've outgrown something and you just don't know how to take yourself out of it. So if there are things that you're really spending your time and energy on that you don't have to do and you don't want to do, then you need to get out of them, delegate, say no, say I'm done, and really figure out if you can't say those things while you're still doing those things. And that sometimes takes work. But that is a quadrant C where you really should get out of. And then you have quadrant D, which is the lower left side, which are the things you don't have to do, but you want to do. Now, this is a sweet spot. This is a part where you have things that you don't have to do them, but you genuinely want to do them. These are your hobbies. These are the volunteer opportunities. These are the travel things that are experiences you want. These are things that no one's asked you to do, but you want to do. You want to take time to paint. You want to take time to learn a third or fourth language. You want to do dance classes. You want to give back doing something. You want to take an extra class in something you've always been interested in. These are things you don't have to do, but you want to do. These are the things that give you extra joy, that take you back to a special time in your childhood that you enjoyed. But you can't really get to the D, which is that part, if you're wasting time in C, doing things you don't want to do and don't have to do. And if you're not really prioritizing the top half to get those things done quickly and efficiently. So D is a great place. You want to be able to have carved out time for that, because those are the things that really nurture you and give you extra joy, because they're things you really want to do. So one of the ways you can get into that, since we all have the same 24 hours in a day, the same 365 days in a year, is really cutting out the things in C and making sure that the top half of our circle, the things we have to do, that we're efficient in getting those things done, that we're prioritizing tasks into have to do, that we are listing them and putting priorities to them, and that we are efficient in how we go through those things so we can get to the things we don't have to do but want to do. So if your day starts off, depending on your personality type, you definitely want to start off in the top half, which is have to do things. For some people, it's easier for them to start with A, which is the top left. Have to do, want to do. They want to start off the day with the things that they know they have to do. They want to do them. It makes them efficient. They're fast. They can get those things done because it's a win-win. They have to do it. They want to do it. It allows them to check things off the list really quickly and then move on to some of the less fun things. For some others, because, and I would say myself as that, I would tend to start in the top half, have to do, on the right side, don't want to do. Because when you have the most energy in the morning, for me, and you're ready to go, you want to start with the things that may challenge you, the things that you need your energy and oomph for, and start off with those things, or alternate those things, have to do, and with the want to do, don't want to do, really doing those up front, because that allows you then to get to the sweet spot where you have time to do the things that you don't have to do, but you really want to do. So depending on what your personality type is, you wake up in the morning, plan for the day or plan for the week, put your tasks into have to do at the top, don't have to do at the bottom. And then with that, split them into want to do and don't want to do. And depending on your personality type, start off with the things that you want to do and have to do. Get them done efficiently, quickly, expeditiously, and then you can go on to the other half, which are the things you have to do but don't want to do. And those are things that are really important. Once you realize you have to do them: spiritual wellness, physical wellness, meditation, taking time for yourself, financial planning, saving money. They're not always fun, but they're necessary things. So this has been 10 minutes with TmFal. Task management, goal management, putting your time into quadrants of have to do at the top, don't have to do at the bottom, and then left to right, want to do and don't want to do. You want to get the A and B at the top done quickly, efficiently, prioritize tasks and get them done. Be motivated to knock those things out. Get into the lower half, eliminate things in C, which is don't have to do, don't want to do, so you can have some time carved out for those things in D, where you don't have to do them, but you really want to do them. So this has been 10 minutes with TmFal. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for listening.